Hey everyone, welcome back to English Push.
The podcast where you learn everyday English by listening to real conversations.
I'm Evan,
And I'm Elizabeth.
and today we're talking about something a little stressful,
A little scary,
but also something that happens to a lot of people.
getting pulled over by the police.
Yeah, that moment when you see the flashing lights behind you,
And your heart just drops.
instant panic.
You're like, was that me?
Am I in trouble?
What did I do?
Even if you did nothing wrong.
You still feel nervous.
So today we're going to talk about what to say, what to do, and some helpful English phrases.
And we'll also share some funny and real situations.
Because honestly, this happens in real life.
And if you're learning English, it's really important to know how to handle it.
All right, let's jump in.
Okay, Evan, picture this.
All right,
You're driving, music is playing, you're relaxed,
maybe singing a little.
probably singing too loud.
Definitely singing too loud.
And then suddenly,
You see flashing lights in your mirror,
red and blue,
and immediately
your stomach drops
you stop singing real fast.
real fast.
And you start thinking,
Was I speeding?
did I miss a sign?
Did I do something wrong?
This is a very real moment.
And in English, people often say, I got pulled over.
That means the police stopped your car.
Example, I got pulled over yesterday.
Very common phrase.
Another phrase is, the cop pulled me over.
Cop is informal for police officer.
So now what do you do?
First, stay calm.
Even though it's hard.
Very hard.
Your heart is beating fast.
But staying calm is important. Okay, so let's talk about what to do.
First thing, pull over safely.
Pull over means move your car to the side of the road and stop.
Use your turn signal.
Slow down safely.
Don't panic and slam the brakes.
Yeah, don't do that.
That makes everything more stressful.
After you stop.
Keep your hands where the officer can see them,
That's very important.
usually on the steering wheel.
And don't start reaching for things right away.
Yeah, don't go digging through your bag.
That can make the officer nervous.
Wait until they ask you.
Exactly.
Now the officer will come to your window.
And they usually say something like, do you know why I pulled you over?
That's a very common question.
And honestly, that question is stressful.
Because you're like,
I have no idea.
or maybe you do know.
Yeah, maybe you were speeding.
So how do you respond?
Let's go through some natural responses.
You can say, no, officer, I'm not sure.
Very polite.
Or, I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
Another option, was I speeding?
That shows you are trying to understand.
Then the officer might explain.
For example, you were going 10 miles over the speed limit.
Speed limit is how fast you are allowed to drive.
At this point,
Do not argue.
yeah, this is important.
Stay calm, be respectful.
You can say, I understand.
Or you can say, I'm sorry about that.
Very simple English.
Very effective.
Then the officer will ask for documents.
They might say, license and registration, please.
License means your driver's license.
Registration means car ownership document.
At this point, you can say, okay, let me get that for you.
Then slowly reach for your documents.
Nice and calm.
Okay, Elizabeth, be honest.
Oh no.
Have you ever been pulled over?
Yes, and I was so nervous.
What happened?
I was driving and I didn't realize my headlight was out.
Oh, that's common.
The officer comes up and I was so nervous, I said,
What did you say?
I promise I'm a good person. I didn't even answer the question.
That's amazing.
I was panicking.
That's a perfect example.
Your brain stops working.
And you say random things.
Exactly.
That's why practicing these phrases helps.
So you don't say,
I promise I'm a good person.
even though you probably are.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right, let's practice some key phrases.
Repeat after us.
I got pulled over.
I'm not sure.
I understand.
I'm sorry about that.
Here's my license.
Let me get that for you.
Good.
These phrases will help you stay calm and communicate clearly.
Getting pulled over can be stressful.
But knowing what to say makes a big difference.
Stay calm
Be polite.
and speak clearly.
Even simple English is enough.
You don't need perfect English.
Just clear and respectful communication.
Segment 3A. Know your rights and what if scenarios.
Okay, so we've covered the basics of a simple traffic stop. But let's be honest, sometimes things are more complicated.
That's a really good point. The officer might ask you questions that are not just about your speed or your license. So let's talk about your rights and get into some what-if scenarios. First, and this is very important, let's talk about answering questions. The officer might ask you things like, where are you coming from? Or where are you going?
You might feel like you have to answer, but you actually have the right to remain silent. You don't have to answer personal questions.
And you can exercise that right politely. You can simply say, Officer, I prefer not to answer that question.
Exactly. It's not rude and it's not an admission of guilt. It is your legal right. Say it calmly and respectfully.
Okay, next right, searches. The officer might ask, do you mind if I take a look in your car?
This is another moment where you have a choice. They are asking for your permission, which means you can say no.
The key phrase here is very simple. Officer, I do not consent to a search.
It's important to say it clearly and calmly. If you give them permission, you are giving up your right to privacy in that moment.
So just to be clear, be polite, hand over your documents, but you do not have to answer personal questions or agree to a search.
Now let's move on to some what-if scenarios. Evan, what if you don't understand what the officer is saying? This is a big fear for English learners.
And it's a perfectly okay situation to be in. The most important thing is not to pretend you understand. It's much better to be honest.
You can say, I'm sorry, officer, English is not my first language. Could you please speak more slowly?
Or you can just say, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Honesty is the best policy here. It prevents confusion and makes the situation safer for everyone.
Okay, next scenario. What if the officer asks you to step out of the car?
This can be scary, but it's a legal order. For the officer's safety, they're allowed to ask you to get out of your vehicle. You should comply with this.
So what's the right way to do it?
You should keep your hands visible, maybe put them back on the steering wheel, and just say, okay, officer. Then move slowly. Don't make any sudden movements. Open the door, get out, and wait for their next instruction.
Calm and slow movements are key. Okay, last one. What if you are a passenger in the car?
As a passenger, your job is simple. Stay calm and quiet. Don't offer any information. Let the driver handle the conversation. The officer is talking to the driver, not you.
And if they ask for your ID?
This can be a complex legal question, but generally, you can ask if you're being detained. A simple way to phrase this is, am I free to go? If they say yes, you don't have to show your ID. If they say no, then you are being detained and you should show it.
Wow, that's a lot of information, but it's so important.
It is, and remember, these situations are rare, but knowing what to do helps you stay in control. The main theme is always stay calm, be polite, and be clear.
Thanks for listening to English Push.
We'll see you in the next episode. Keep listening, keep practicing,
And keep pushing your English forward.